So Lindsey Graham is trying to block Merrick Garland's confirmation hearing to be Attorney General. Where have we seen this movie before? Let's talk about that. Because putting an end to the bottomless pit of Republican obstruction, like justice, matters. Hey all, Glenn Kirshner here. So Lindsey Graham is refusing to schedule Merrick Garland's confirmation hearing to be Attorney General in retaliation for the fact that Donald Trump was impeached for inciting an insurrection, for inciting an attack on the U.S. Capitol. Lindsey Graham is holding on to his last little bit of power, and he's engaging in one last Republican spasm of obstruction. Here's how it's being reported out by The Hill. Senator Lindsey Graham rejected a Democratic request on Monday to schedule a confirmation hearing next week for Merrick Garland, President Biden's pick to be Attorney General. Though Democrats have the Senate majority, Graham is still the Senate Judiciary Committee chairman because the chamber hasn't yet passed an organizing resolution for the 117th Congress. That means the Senate panels are still operating under last year's setup, in which Republicans had the majority. That's how Graham is stonewalling at the moment. Graham's letter comes after Senator Dick Durbin, the incoming committee chairman, urged him to schedule a hearing for February 8th, arguing that there was simply no justification for not scheduling it, and hinting that behind the scenes, talks were at an impasse. But Graham, in his own letter, said Garland should have a 2-day hearing and pointed to the upcoming impeachment trial scheduled to start next week as a roadblock to Merrick Garland's hearing. Quote from Graham, "The Senate is about to conduct its first ever impeachment trial of a former president and only its fourth trial of a president, incumbent or not. Under the procedure the Senate has adopted, Donald Trump's trial is set to start on February 9. But you, Senator Durbin, you want us to rush through Judge Garland's hearing on February 8. An impeachment is no small thing. It requires the Senate's complete focus," Graham wrote. And then he added this: "I look forward to questioning Judge Garland and potentially supporting his nomination, but not on February 8. Governing requires trade-offs," Graham said. So basically, Lindsey's having a little Republican tantrum because his buddy Donnie has been impeached by the Dems. The Dems are being mean to Donnie, in Lindsey Graham's opinion. You know, folks, I don't typically get mad. I was a federal prosecutor for 30 years, and for 22 of those years, I tried murder cases and RICO cases in the courts of Washington, D.C., and as I said, I didn't really get mad. But now, I'm a little bit mad. I'm reminded of what my mother always used to say. The late Ruth Kirshner, we lost Mom a few years ago, when she got really angry, when she was furious, she would say, "I am so mad, I could just spit." Mom didn't cuss. But that's kind of how I feel at this moment. Why? Well, we, the people, just suffered through 4 years of virtually nonstop efforts by the Republican Party to shield a criminal president from accountability for the crimes he committed against the United States, against we the people, not to mention the immigrants who came here. And now that it is time for a law-abiding Attorney General to take over the Department of Justice, to begin investigating Trump and company for all of those crimes, investigations that were blocked by Bill Barr, now that it's time to move in the direction of enforcing the laws of the country again against Trump and company, Lindsey Graham won't stand for it. He tries to obstruct Merrick Garland's appointment. So we're going to have to stay on top of this until Lindsey Graham is forced to abandon his obstructionist efforts to block Merrick Garland's confirmation hearing. And folks, isn't this eerily reminiscent of what they did to Merrick Garland last time, when President Obama nominated him to be a Supreme Court justice, and Mitch McConnell, Lindsey Graham, and other Republicans unconstitutionally blocked his confirmation hearing for nearly a year? You know, they violated the Constitution by not giving him the advice and consent hearing that was required. They got away with it that time. They will not get away with it this time, though they'll try. And that raises a question, folks. What can we do about all of this? Now, admittedly, we can't fix everything the politicians broke in our government or in our country, but you know what? We can work on it. You may have heard me talk about Team Justice, right? It's a group of people, and we're assembled over on patreon.com. That's where Team Justice proper meets. And we are working on projects that are designed to enable and inspire full citizen participation in government, right? Gone are the days when we can just vote for candidates, send them to Washington, and hope that everything's going to be okay. Well, it's not going to be okay. We need full citizen participation in all aspects of government. We have a couple of projects. One is just about to launch, and I'd like to take a minute to tell you about it and invite you to be part of this project. We have a letter that we have drafted going out to all 50 state attorneys general, urging them to use their prosecutorial resources in their state to investigate preventable coronavirus deaths. We're approaching 500,000. And so many of them were preventable but for Donald Trump's recklessness, his grossly negligent conduct. And as I mentioned, folks, I was a homicide prosecutor for 22 of my 30 years, prosecuting murder cases, RICO cases in the courts of Washington, D.C. And let me tell you, based on the publicly available information and evidence, Donald Trump, Mike Pence, Jared Kushner, and undoubtedly others in Trump's criminal administration are responsible for preventable coronavirus deaths in all 50 states. And we have a Team Justice letter with signatures from residents of all 50 states. And it's about to go out in the coming weeks to all 50 state attorneys general, urging them to investigate these preventable coronavirus deaths and indict and prosecute those responsible for them, because the victims and their families and their communities deserve accountability, deserve justice. Trump, Pence, Kushner, and others do not get a pass for doing what they did to the American people. And I'm not going to survey the evidence now, folks. You've seen it, and I've talked about it in prior videos. So if you're interested in joining us over on patreon.com and becoming a Team Justice member proper, being a signatory to the letter that will be going out to all 50 state attorneys general, we welcome you. And we are building a team that will be involved in other projects moving forward, including the Citizens Brigade of Court Watchers. You may have heard me talking about that in earlier videos, and I'm so excited about it. Having been inside of courtrooms for 30 years as a prosecutor, I've seen judges engage in misconduct in court. And when I did, I documented it and we pushed it up the chain so it could be dealt with. We're training citizens who want to be volunteer court watchers to get into the federal courts and watch those Mitch McConnell judges, the ones he crammed down America's throat on a strict party line vote, including all of the ones who were rated not qualified by the American Bar Association. The Citizens Brigade of Court Watchers is going to go in, and we're going to work honestly, ethically, respectfully, peacefully, and we're going to unpack the courts. We're going to see the misconduct, document it, and use the 2-page judicial complaint form on uscourts.gov. And we are going to participate in government like we never have before. That's another project that Team Justice has. And as soon as courts go back to being live instead of being virtual, so we can get in there as the citizens and court watch and document and act, that's what we'll be doing. So stay tuned for that. And there are other projects we're working. So not to belabor the point, folks, but if you want to be a member of Team Justice proper, you want to come over to patreon.com, sign up to become a patron. We would love to have you join our efforts over there, because we have to work to fix what the politicians broke in our government and in our country, and we can. We can. And we will. And you know why. Because justice matters. And the dream of justice for all will be deferred no longer, as President Biden said. As always, folks, please stay safe. Please stay tuned. And I look forward to talking with you all again tomorrow.